King of Bass is a brand new AUv3 instrument app from Matthew Fetcher and Audiokit Pro. Continuing with the design language and feature set first seen in last year's excellent VHS Synth, anyone who has dived into one of these new breed of Audiokit synths will feel right at home with King of Bass. The question is, does it sound any good? iOS music making veterans may remember that back in 2020, the folks at Audiokit released a series of what were at the time limited edition apps. They're thankfully all available now though. These limited edition apps range from vocal tuning apps to retro synths and analog drum machines. The most popular of these limited edition apps was Analog Bass 808, a simple, straightforward bass synth that focused on allowing users to create amazing sub-bass and 808 sounds. And folks went absolutely mad for this thing. Fast forward to present day and King of Bass acts as kind of a follow-up to Analog Bass 808. Yes, it still allows users to create gnarly, full-bodied bass and kick sounds, but Matthew Fetcher has actually added in a whole lot more functionality, which makes King of Bass far more flexible. When you open King of Bass, your first port of call will probably be the presets. Tapping on the menu at the top will open the presets, and as always, these are a great way to get a feel for what an app can do. You have over 300 presets to get you started here, including 100 starter patches that are designed specifically to give you a leg up sound design-wise. Like Saga Synth and King of FM before it, King of Bass features a funky wee mascot here, who will become increasingly more animated the gnarlier your sound is. As well as factory presets, you'll also find custom preset banks created for the app by some well-known iOS sound designers and talented app developers, like Electrona Sounds, MobiPixel, Red Sky Lullaby, and more. When you're ready to dive in and do some tweaking, tapping one of these 4 buttons will take you to one of 4 tabs: Main, Oscillator, Sequencer, and Pro. On the main tab, you'll find various, mostly self-explanatory controls like volume and limiter knobs, as well as some effects along the bottom row here. A couple of effects on this tab to look out for are the Kick It controls, which when activated can turn pretty much any patch into a tuned kick sound. You can also access an LFO here and tap the More button to select from an amazingly comprehensive list of destinations. You can select from one of 4 LFO waveforms here too. There is a heat control here as well, which pairs very well with the kick it function to add some extra body. Over on the oscillator tab, you'll find a setup that will no doubt look familiar to anyone who has used one of Audiokit's more recent instrument apps. Here is where you can select from, then mix and match up to 2 different sounds. Tap the menu, pick a sound, audition it right from the menu, then repeat the process for the second sound. In a move that's sure to delight pedantic iOS music makers who usually revel in the opportunity to point out that previous Audiokit apps
are actually romplers, not proper synthesizers.
Matthew Fetcher has added a traditional synth engine here, which you can access by tapping the boxes next to the sound menus. You can control how much of each sound is outputted with the mix knob, and you have separate ADSR controls under each sound, though you can link these to one set of controls, which is really handy. It goes without saying that the combination possibilities here are just mind-blowing. In the sequencer tab, you'll find an excellent step sequencer. There's an on-off toggle here. You can adjust the number of divisions or speed of it here. There's a gate control. You can change the number of steps in the sequence up to 16. You can also choose whether the sequencer will be applied to both of your chosen sounds together or just one, which is great. And there's a really handy lock sequence button here, so if you create a sequence that you like the sound of, but want to hear how it sounds using a different preset, hit this, then change sounds, and the sequence will stay the same. Very clever stuff. The Pro tab is where you'll find King of Bass's second LFO and more effects. Turning on the second LFO activates Beast Mode, and the wee man there goes a bit nuts. Again, you have lots of options when it comes to routing the second LFO, plus you can select from free, restart, or one-shot trigger modes. A neat control here is the Quick Tune knob, which allows you to quickly increase or decrease your sound by an octave. I don't have a huge amount of experience when it comes to tuning 808s, honestly, but as I understand it, having the option to instantly tune up to a point where you can easily hear if your 808s are in tune or not, adjust them, and then return to the original octave will prove really useful for a lot of beat makers. Unlike King of FM before it, King of Bass is iPad and iPhone only. It's AUv3, so in GarageBAnd you can head to the external section in the sound browser once you've downloaded the app, and access it via the Audio Unit Extensions menu. In Logic Pro for iPad, you can select King of Bass when loading up a new MIDI track, or switch it out as the current instrument plugin on an existing MIDI track. King of Bass is available right now for the intro price of $3.99. The regular price is $9.99. That's not a lot to ask for something as fully featured as this. Having said that, is this going to be useful for absolutely everybody? No, probably not. If you have no interest in creating fat, exaggerated, beastly bass lines or funky kick drums, then there isn't a lot here for you, honestly. If all of that does sound good to you though, there is a lot to like here. You have almost endless low-end sound design possibilities with those interchangeable analog and 808 sound banks, plus the option to forgo the sampled sounds completely and dive into some proper synthesis, or add one of the included effects, or create a 16-step sequence out of your sound. The sky really is the limit here. If you're a user of Audiokit's older Bass 808 app and are looking for an upgrade, or just want an affordable way to create some killer bass sounds, King of Bass will be right up your street. Let me know your thoughts on Audiokit's latest King of Bass down in the comments, and if you could give that like button a good stiff kicking on your way past, I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to check out another amazing app from Audiokit, this time a freebie, watch this next.